When they have their friends creeping on your stories to see what you're doing, be the girl that's cheersing with a glass of water instead of vodka. Okay?
Yeah.
That looks 1,000 times better. Welcome back to Three Girls, One Kitchen. On today's episode, we're discussing how to get your ex back. Needless to say, I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there. We all are single, recently out of relationships, and we don't want our exes back. This is specifically for you guys. And don't be confused. A lot of the tricks that you can use to get your ex back are also things that you do while you're moving on.
Yeah. Yes.
So please don't go look at my Instagram and be like, oh, damn, she's posting this picture to get her ex back, or she's doing this or that, because I'm not. It's just that that's just what you do whenever you move on. That's why it tricks your ex to come back, because they think that you're moving on. So we're going to give you all those tips, all of them this episode. Again, fan questions will be at the end of this episode. So listen to the very end to see if we answered your question.
Oh, and also another disclaimer, guys, we do not encourage going back to a toxic relationship. So let's make that clear. We don't encourage toxic behavior. So we don't want you to go back to an ex that was abusing you verbally or physically. You know, that was not good for you just mentally overall. So just please note that if those things are in the past with your ex, please do not go back to them.
Yeah, why don't we start before going into the tips about how to get your ex back? Maybe reminding all of them who want to get their ex back why you guys broke up in the first place.
Yeah, I think you should definitely do reflecting. I think that's really important. Whenever you do get out of a relationship, you need to take a step back and just kind of reflect on what had happened, why you guys broke up, how severe the situation was. Were you in the wrong? Was the other person in the wrong? Was it a mutual agreement? So those are very important factors to think about and consider before you go back to a relationship.
And will anything be different if you did go back? Because most of the time, nothing will change. So are you willing to deal with what you were already putting up with? Think about all those things that they did that you didn't like, that don't work for you, that upset you all the time. And if those things wouldn't change, or maybe it would be worse because they're doing even more of it now and you already know about it.
I was going to say.
Not from experience.
She's very passionate about this topic, guys.
No, also,
why the fuck would you want to go back then? They're just going to make you mad every single day. Again,
it
why?
also is like, do you really want them, or do you want the idea of them, or maybe something that they used to be? Because I always have visions, like I vision things in my head and I plan out things that I want them to do or say. And I'm like, if we get back together, then this will happen, but not necessarily. So it's like, I want the idea of them, not actually that person.
A lot of guys are doing the bare minimum and thinking that they're doing the most, or they're just trying to convince you that they're doing the most. But once you are over them and you think about everything, you're like, damn, they really sucked. And it won't be that hard to find someone better, at least who treats me better. Not that someone's better than the other one, but how you treat me is most important. And if they can't do that for you, then give it up.
Yeah, I think whenever we had the interview with Mia last week, you know, something that really stuck with me that she had said is, you're not expensive if someone can't afford you. And how she was saying, you know, if someone can afford you intellectually or physically or whatever the case might be, is what are your standards for yourself in a relationship? And does that person give you those things that you want?
Olivia, I actually quoted Mia whenever I broke up with my boyfriend.
That's crazy.
I've been actually quoting Mia on all my Instagram captions.
I saw that. Shout out to Mia.
Yeah, thank you, girl. We miss you, love you.
Another thing to be mindful about, which I deal with this sometimes, and I know I was telling Olivia this, and I've told you this before too. Whenever you end a relationship and they don't give you the reaction that you want and they don't seem to care, your ego makes you want to go back to get validation from them. And you need to tell yourself, that's my ego. I don't really want to be with this person. They were bad for me. But your ego is telling you, oh, I need to go and prove to myself that they care about me because I'm worth it. No, you don't. You don't need to. And it's very important to tell yourself that you don't need that it's your ego. It's not them. You're better off without them. You don't love them.
That's currently what I'm going through right now. Yeah. And you reminded me of that because I wasn't getting any reaction. It was legit as if he didn't care at all. And so I was more upset. I was freaking out. And then I'm sending all of these messages, you know, being a simp, whatever, and still not getting the reaction. And that makes me more upset. Yeah. And you reminded me that it's not necessarily the person or the situation. It was my ego wanting to be the one
finding
in control.
Validation.
Yeah. And just think that you're actually like lowering yourself and your standards when you have those feelings deep down inside, because if ultimately the reason that you broke up with that person was because they weren't satisfying your needs, whether it's not talking enough, not giving enough attention, or, you know, just not being caring enough, it's natural for you to feel like that. But whenever you want them back, it's your ego once again, but you are lowering your standards. Like, don't forget, like, why you ended things or why you were unhappy in the first place when you were actually dating that person.
Yeah.
And that's always hard for me to like remember is I think, oh, I'm really sad right now because I really miss that person. I have to think in my head, well, so let's say that I feel like I made a mistake and I go back to them and then I'm going to be sad all over again because they are not satisfying my needs. They are not giving me the attention that I deserve.
So just
they're not giving me
the
what I wanted. Yeah. So it's like the downside. So I always have to remember like, well, I would rather be just a little sad right now, missing them, rather than be really hurt when I'm back together with that person and they're still doing the same thing that they were doing, which is not giving me what I wanted.
That's something I always do. Oh, yeah, sorry. I always do that too. I always fall in the same cycle. So hopefully even this is a lesson for me to learn how to fall out of that cycle.
I read an interesting comment on Instagram the other day because I follow so many quote pages. What do you guys think about this? It said, the reasons that you get upset at the beginning of the relationship will be the reasons down the line that you guys end up breaking up, the same exact ones.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why like you have to keep remembering why you were sad to begin with, like why you ended something, because that is going to be an issue. Like I have to always think that.
I mean, it goes two ways. So for that, I didn't see any issues in the beginning and then all of a sudden, so that can happen.
Well, you know what that's called, right?
Narcissism.
Love bombing, which is something that narcissists do.
Well, yes, but also guys can change. Like if he really loves you and he wants to be with you and you express to him this certain thing that you do really bothers me and upsets me, he will change it for you and try his hardest to change it for you, unless you're asking him to like stop doing something that's completely crazy and it doesn't make sense. Yeah. But if it's something small, then if he loves you and he wants to be with you, he will change that.
Or they do change and then they act resentful about it.
Yeah, well, it depends. Yeah, it depends what changed. Like if you're asking him to quit smoking because it is something that affects your health and his health. If you ask him to quit doing drugs because it's, you know, like those are things that they severely need help and those are not habits that you should keep. But if it's
what about incompatibilities? Like, for example, you live a very healthy lifestyle, you like to eat healthy, you like to wake up early and work out. They won't make time for you unless it's late at night, like 11, 12 p.m. Therefore, it affects your schedule, your life, and your well-being. Or like maybe a guy who you can't bring around your friends because he likes to make jokes about having three-ways with other girls and touches other girls in front of you and is drastically inappropriate. Yeah, they'll quit doing those things if you ask, maybe. But I've often found that then they act resentful because that's just who they are and their human nature.
But I mean, I think just going back to like with the viewers listening, because clearly we're trying to get them to get their ex back. They don't want to hear our problems, guys.
I'm sorry. I just want to, I guess I kind of want to scare them from going back with their ex. So
she's like, don't go back to your ex.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remind you of all the things that you didn't like about them, so you don't even want to finish this podcast because you're just like, fuck them.
Oh my God, first off, no.
I mean, listen to the end still for the fan questions, guys, but please just don't go back to your ex. They probably suck.
Or, there are times when it is okay to go back to your ex if you have time apart and you grow and you think. But
why did you break up
or if you, that's what I'm saying. It depends on why you broke up.
Maybe like 10 years from now, if they completely change who they are as a person.
I definitely feel like timing is everything. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that like my decisions are always the best decisions. And of course, my girlfriends are always going to hype me up. They're going to hear my side of the story. They're never going to hear the guy's side of the story. And they're not going to hear how the guy is going to say, well, this is how Olivia's been acting. So I'm trying to be open-minded. And by saying that, I've never believed that timing is everything until like recently, that sometimes timing is everything. And I have a friend that, rekindled his relationship with a girl that he really, really liked a year ago. And he told me it was timing. He was like, it was just bad timing. Like I was dealing with an ex, it was a huge public thing. So a year later, he rekindled it with her.
I don't know if things will work out between them.
I mean, that's beside the point. The point is timing is everything. I recently ended something with someone and I felt like timing was bad. They're very busy right now. Like their schedule is very, very tight and hectic with, him being an athlete. And I started to see myself that I was getting annoyed and just angry over little things. And I realized I was like, this isn't fair to him. Like, he's genuinely busy. And, you know, he doesn't deserve me nagging at him constantly, being like, why didn't you call me or why didn't you FaceTime me? I had to take a step back and realize, like, right now, timing is everything. And I don't want to separate us and push him even further away by constantly acting crazy and psycho and needy when I should just let him, you know, work and like so like I do believe that timing is everything, and sometimes people do get back together for that reason. So since this podcast is kind of gearing towards how to get back with your ex, you know, we should.
There's so many. Sorry, I'm so biased in this episode, but there's so many fish in the sea, guys. Don't get back with him.
There are. I mean, for those people that, you know, you can. I know people that have like spent years apart and came back together, and it was amazing, whatever. But they didn't break up because of someone cheated. They didn't break up because there was like abuse in the relationship. They just kind of had other priorities and other things come up in their life. And maybe someone has, you know, things they have to do right now. And it's not that they don't love you, but they have to love themselves and maybe their family or whoever first. And when the timing is right, if you're meant to be, you will, you know, you'll be.
Okay, so now that we've discussed all the reasons not to get back with your ex, I guess we'll tell you how to get them back.
If you want.
Yeah, if you want. A huge thing, like if you Google online how to get your ex back, the most effective method is the no contact rule.
You know, I didn't even know about that until yesterday.
Wait, I don't know about it at all. So I need you guys to tell me.
I spent an hour just reading. I wrote up I condensed it myself and I have it in my notes. I'm like checking that up. Yeah. I had no idea that was a rule because I've never Googled how to get your ex back, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I've never Googled
Have you ever
never done that? I have, like in high school.
Every girl has Googled
it.
I never had a boyfriend in high school.
That's true. Alexa's like a whole different breed of like relationship.
I'm also kind of like a boy in a way.
Yeah,
too.
you are. You're not like a relationship kind of girl. So
no, wait, I am a relationship kind of girl, but I'm a simp to where I don't Google how to get my ex back. I just am like, I'm so sorry that you cheated on me. I love you. Love me back.
And that doesn't work.
I know that now.
So guys, the no contact rule, it varies. You can do a 30-day non-contact rule. I believe that's the minimum.
It said 21 to 90.
Yeah, to 90.
Oof. I don't know if I can last that long.
I'm struggling with 7.
That period gives you time not only for them to miss you and think about things, but also gives you time to think about things, analyze them, work on yourself. And ultimately, I think the main principle of this method is the ego that we were talking about.
Yes.
They want to come back because they're like, why doesn't she care? Why doesn't she want to talk to me? And I believe that's the main principle.
Yeah, well, and also, I mean, it's, you know, it's nature for men to feel like at a later stage after a breakup, because us women, we feel quicker, we're more emotional, so we are more likely to react quicker rather than men who don't actually react until like later on.
Yeah.
So I think that's why this rule definitely applies to when the girl gets broken up with, because that's going to be a lot easier, you know, to like work with that since that rule is applied.
I mean, honestly, for my like ex, you know, I was struggling the most when we broke up. I was the one having all these issues. And when I finally had enough and I took my time and my space, I got back into working out. I was with my friends. I became really happy and I didn't even miss him and want to be back with him. But because I did all those things, like he actually wanted me back. So I did the no contact rule without knowing that I had done it. And it actually worked at that point, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's probably just because you were so tired of him.
Yeah. So it's like, even though I accidentally did it, it did kind of work. And I reflected and I took my time to figure out why we broke up and all of the issues. And I realized that it wasn't worth getting back into. And maybe the other person will realize the things that like they did wrong and want to fix it, but it might be too late. Yeah.
So guys, don't contact him for 21 to 90 days. It supposedly works like a charm. I have to say that I have used that in the past. And I never had to wait 20 to 90 days, though. They've always come back after less than a week. Right now, I'm currently not talking to my ex, but it's the same reason as you, that I'm just fed up and there's no reason for us to talk. So I'm not using the no contact rule on anyone right now. I don't want people to think that. However, it is a very effective method, so go do that. What do you guys think about, a lot of times your friends will be like, oh yeah, post online, make it look like you're having fun.
Yeah.
It depends. So obviously you can do it and it looks way too forced, way too extra. But actually, don't even make it look like you're having fun. Start doing things that you love to do that make you happy. See your friends that you know care about you. Spend time with those people, your family. Work out, do yoga, read a book, do whatever, and you will be happy once you're doing that. And then once they see that you're happy, maybe they will want to be back with you, but who cares? Because at that point, you're happy on your own.
I mean, I'm just going to say that a guy is going to be more mind-fucked that dumb to you when he sees on your story that you're happily reading a book at home on a Friday night rather than going out and getting wasted and partying.
That's so me.
Yeah.
That's a fucking flex.
I recently saw someone's story who went through a breakup recently, and they obviously were posting them going out and all of this. And then there was also a big, long paragraph about how they were the happiest they've been in a long time and laughing all night. I'm like,
were they like hammered? I don't know who you're talking about, but it was just them like blackout drunk. Of course you're laughing.
A long paragraph about like they had to write a whole paragraph literally a couple days after them and their girlfriend broke up about how happy they were. To me, that seems a little
forced.
Weird. Yeah. I mean, you don't. At this point,
that's sort of what you're talking about. Like, it could be cringe. Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend doing that because I personally looked at that and I was like, damn, that's so cringe.
If you're happy, you don't need to prove to everyone. You don't need to prove it that you're happy. That's like, that just defeats the purpose. Like, if you're happy, then why do you feel the need to write a novel about why you're happy? Then you're probably not happy.
Yeah. And I mean,
if you were good and you were happy, you would be like Olivia said, you would be sitting at home with whatever feelings or not feelings that you have, just chilling, because you don't need to add all these negative distractions to your life to make yourself feel better, because you already feel good.
Exactly.
And so if you really want to upset them, that's what you should do, because that's what someone who's indifferent feels.
Yeah, guys, like definitely don't go out and drink and party because it makes you look like a mess and
it makes your feelings worse.
And honestly, so this is once again, because this is the topic of you getting back with your ex or you wanting your ex back. They don't want a sloppy Joe. They don't want a girl that they're going to want to get back with, or a guy that's all over the place, that's going out getting wasted, that's back with their friends who are a horrible influence on them, that are making bad decisions. Like, no one wants to get back with that person. They're going to want to get back with the person that's at home, cooking a meal on a Friday night, reading a book, having girls' night, because that's independence. That's attractive. Like, that's what they want to see. They don't want to see you depressed. And guys, we've all been there. We've all fucking posted those sappy ass Facebook statuses where like, you know, like, I thought you were the one, or like, no, I miss you so much. Oh, well, I did that. I'm a simp.
When they have their friends creeping on your stories to see what you're doing, be the girl that's cheersing with a glass of water instead of vodka. Okay? That looks 1,000 times better.
How you said don't do those things. Like, I've done the things that you said not to do, and it does not work, obviously. And then when I did the things that you said to do, like stay at home, take care of yourself, that's when you started to come back. Kind of what you're saying, like have the water, don't party. I had my bad party phase, and let me tell you, I looked like a mess. I was not chill. I was also only like 22 years old. So still, I was just...
Doesn't matter what age you are. Like,
it's a learning experience.
Yeah, I learned. And I'm never going to do it again.
Yeah, everyone goes through pain differently. And I've definitely been where I got my heart broken and dumped, and I went out and partied every single day. I was blacked out. Like, I was a hot mess because, like, that was my way of dealing with my pain and coping with it. I was the sappy girl posting the sad quotes, you know, on my Instagram, or like hinting, like, you know, like,
love me.
Yeah, like a message towards him, you know, and it's not attractive, guys. Like, no one wants that back.
Like, looking at it as an ex, seeing someone do that, or like they're just like, boys, girls now all over their social media, and like how they're partying. It's like, damn, I would never take you back now.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, and it's cringy, and it's gross, and it grosses out the person that you used to be with.
And it's not helping you. It's making you work. It's, you know what I mean? It's not helping you to be drinking a half gallon of vodka every night versus half gallon of water.
Yeah, and waking up at 4 and running on the treadmill.
Yeah.
There's no place like home, especially when your house is furnished by Jenny Kane. I have something from Jenny Kane in each room of my house, whether it's a small vase, to a toothbrush holder, to a throw blanket, a couch, a pillow.
Yeah.
They have something for every room in your house.
So I remember walking into your house this morning, and it smelled so good. The candle that you had lit up in the living room, amazing.
Oh, the vanilla one. Yeah, that's from Jenny Kane too. My house was nicely furnished before I found Jenny's website. But after, I truly feel like my house is a home now, and just everything's finally come together. It looks
cozy,
like very high quality,
put together, high end. Definitely check out Jenny Kane's, guys.
Isn't Jenny Kane known for the quality of their pieces, as well the integrity and the timelessness that they have?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, all their pieces are a good investment and they last a lifetime.
Well, I hate to toot my own horn, but that's why I ordered from them. Find your forever pieces at jennykane.com. You can even get 15% off your first order with our code 3G1K at jennykane.com. That's jennykane.com. Use our code 3G1K for 15% off.
Guys, so we have actually partnered up with an amazing app called Stereo, where we're going to give you the chance to be more intimate with us, and you get to actually listen to us, and it's going to be an unfiltered version of 3G1K. So you can definitely check out that app to get more on listening to us.
And we're going to be live, and it's an exclusive after party of just us on the podcast and our daily lives about 3 times a week.
Another cool feature that Stereo has is that you can actually interact with us while we're live right on the Stereo app. Not only can we talk back with you on the app, but we can hear your audio and respond back to that live.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool way to get to know like our fan base. I think this is going to be awesome.
How cool would it be to do the advice questions that we do, but hearing the person's actual voice asking
us?
Mm-hmm. So Stereo is a live social conversational app where you can be the co-host, you can join someone's conversation, or you can just listen.
Download the Stereo app and follow us. It's stereo.com/3G1K, and the link will be in the description.
We are so excited to go live with you on Stereo, so make sure you follow us after you download the app. Like, maybe this episode was a bad idea because I feel like I'm so biased today.
No. I mean, it's okay. Like it's a good way to also express, things so people can see from an outside perspective of what a relationship that looked like it's perfect isn't always perfect, and a lot of people have that persona on social media, guys, is that you see a couple that's constantly posting, whether it's YouTube videos, Instagram, whatever the case might be. They look so happy and perfect, but they're really not. Like, they have so many issues and problems. Yeah. And I think it's really important to address that. And I think it's really important someone like Lana, who is in the spotlight and is constantly having to deal with that, to voice how she genuinely feels in a relationship, because no one ever talks about that. Everyone always thinks it's perfect. Yeah. And I don't think that's healthy. I really don't.
Should I talk about it?
Not on this episode.
Yeah, not on this episode. This episode is about how to get your ex back, okay? So maybe we should just put duct tape on her mouth.
There's a trend on TikTok where girls will be like, make him really regret your relationship, do this photo shoot here. And I saw a guy making fun of it. He duetted one of the trends of a girl doing a photo shoot at a pottery studio, and he was imitating the girls. He was like, yeah, girl, make him really jealous, book a pottery studio and take sexy pictures there. And
motherfucker, he will be jealous because he's gonna wonder why she's going to pottery class and not to the party next door.
I mean, not necessarily. She was doing a photo shoot there, and the guy was like, do girls really think this works? What do you guys think about posting thirst traps to get your ex's attention?
It depends on the guy. Clearly, I have learned that this is not. Certain guys do not like you posting lingerie photos.
That's on insecurity.
Yeah, so some guys don't like that, and they will not even like your photo, whether you're dating or not. And some guys are like, wow, obviously we want to be with someone that's like, wow, that's my girl. She's beautiful. She's hot, whatever. So if it's a guy that's secure with himself and loves himself, then he's going to want his girl to love herself and be hot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I will post a thirst trap if I've been working out hard and I've been putting in the work. I want people to know,
and that's your personality. You like doing that. You love the way that you look. You want to show it off. Who are they to tell you that you can't do that? It's not hurting them. It's not hurting you.
Exactly. But who knows? So maybe some guys it works. I feel like most people it does work because they will miss you and they'll be like, wow, she is happy. She loves herself. I miss her. Yeah. Look how beautiful she is.
I think it kind of works. It definitely gets their attention because it makes the guy feel, oh, damn, I'm really missing out. She looks good. She looks hot. But obviously don't be too desperate. Don't do thirst traps if it's out of your character.
Out of your character,
If you are a turtleneck and sweater kind of girl.
Post a lingerie.
Yeah, and you're just posting a half-assed naked baby girl. Who are you trying to fool? We all know who that's targeted towards. So definitely don't do it over the top. But I think just even posting photos in general, it doesn't have to be a thirst trap. As corny as that sounds, a pottery photo shoot. Who fucking cares where you're posting? Live your life, girl. Let him know, or a guy, let them know that you're happy and you're doing activities and you're staying focused on your lifestyle and your happiness. And if you want to post that you went to Mount Everest yesterday and climbed it, then fucking do it.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, that's way more fire than posting a lingerie picture.
Yeah, because it's going to make that person be like, damn, like, she's really doing it. She's doing the most without me.
She climbed Mount Everest, bruh. Yeah. I would want her back, too. There's another tip. Go climb Mount Everest, guys. He won't be able to deny you after that.
No, honestly, he'll be scared of you after that. Like, that stamina, goddamn.
A little off topic, but still, since we're talking about how to get your ex back, is also, guys, whenever you break up with your ex,
are you gonna say having sex with them after?
Oh no, I was just gonna say like, don't change their mind, change their mood. So a lot of times when people break up, if you write them a novel of how much you miss them, how much you want them back, how perfect you guys are going to be together, it's going to annoy them.
Me next time.
I just want you guys to know it is not going to change their mind. So you need to change your mood. You need to reflect back on all the good times you guys had, all the positive things.
Oh, no. Reflect back on good times? Wait, in the letter that you're writing to them or just in your mind?
Yes. Well, if you would let me finish talking.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay. So you would reflect back on all the good times and all the positive things that you guys had together. And that's the things that you should talk to them about or share to them. So don't write them a novel like saying how perfect you guys are together and why you belong together. You should just think back of all the good things, because eventually a person is going to forget all the negatives. And if you continue to psychologically tell them all the positives that you guys had together, it's going to work. Because you change your mood. You don't change your mind.
I feel like you're targeting me right now because you know I'm such a simp that like I would do the first thing.
That's such a manipulation though.
No,
they'll forget all the bad times.
No, it's true.
It's going to be good.
No, like it's a psychological fact. Like it's in human nature that if you are constantly reassured of all the positives that you had with someone, they're more likely to think good and forget all the negatives.
Well, I agree. Like I would obviously rather have someone text me, because I've had both, like all the positive things about me and our relationship, because and on a happy note, versus all the negative, like you could have done this, like I love you, but why didn't you love me? Blah, 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 blah. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah. 100%. And I mean, I've done that before. I have definitely done that with an ex, and I mean, we did get back together, so I'm not like tooting my own horn that this method works, but it does. And I mean, I know we already talked about like going out and having fun, but obviously don't act depressed. I think that's really important. Number one rule for me is do not show your emotions to them. Like do not let them know how sad you are, how much you miss them, because no one wants that. Like that's not even attractive to begin with. So
I'm bad at that sometimes, but it just depends.
Yeah, honestly, Alexa, I've seen your story lately. You're just posting like all this food and you alone. And I'm like, damn, she's really not doing herself any favors with that.
I know. Honestly,
every day she's alone in a dark room with a giant pizza by herself.
But to be honest, I posted that once, but I was hungover. To be honest, that's like a normal behavior for me. If you scroll on my like archive, but I'm always eating food and I'm always posting food. But the difference is now I'm not like,
if I wanted to be desirable to my ex, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm eating a whole pizza by myself now.
But I only had 2 slices.
No. Oh, well,
she is a Domino's girl, though.
Yeah, I order Domino's every week.
Wait, did you eat the pizza with anyone else or no?
Yeah, I had friends over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't alone all
Maybe
week.
Include them in the story next time if you want to get your
just
ex
like draw
back.
like little figures.
No, but I
Photoshop me and Lana.
But to me, like when I'm hungover, I do that anyway. Like I was actually hungover, so that's. I wasn't even thinking that. Because
I was thinking, oh damn, this girl's going through it.
No, it was a nice week. I was with just like my close friends, like all my close girlfriends I hadn't seen in a while, and
that's what they say to do is just surround yourself with good people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Another thing, which wasn't in the outline, but I thought of it as we were going on, if you want to get back together with your ex and your ex doesn't want to get back with you, should you still fuck them?
Oh, like before you guys are back together?
Yeah.
I'm in my head. I will convince myself if I do it, then they will fall in love again. You know, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do it and they're going to remember how much they like me and all this stuff. Yeah. But it just makes it harder for me.
Yeah. And also, for me, it's like, the sex might have been bomb, but you don't deserve it.
Yeah. I've thought about that too. I'm like, I want to do this, this, and this. It'll make them want to be with me again. And then I realized.
Not because that. I'm like, that dick was bomb for me, but you don't deserve to get the.
No, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. But then I realized that they don't deserve me.
Yeah. Or to have sex with you.
That's what I'm saying. They don't deserve this.
No matter how good that dick was, I'm not going to fucking have it if you can't treat me right.
There's always good dick out there. You know what I realized? And people think, I've known this for myself. Oh, he's the best. I'm never going to find better. No, what was the best was your feelings for him, and feelings for someone makes sex better. So you might think that about your ex, but wait until you fall in love again, and then that sex will be the best of your life.
Some guys
so it's just a cycle that just keeps happening. So.
Some guys really do know how to lay the pipe down, though.
Well, yes, but
I'm gonna say I've been through that emotional thing where I thought that my ex had the best dick ever. I can't believe I just said that. And I was like, oh my God, this sex is amazing. And then, we broke up. I was devastated. Like, this guy, like, literally broke my heart. And then, we ended up getting back together. But between those times, we, like, hooked up. And actually, no, I'm sorry. We got back together and he broke up with me again. And then we ended up hooking up. And that was the day that I realized, sex is actually not good.
Well,
because
maybe he didn't. Maybe he wasn't trying as hard that day.
No, it was still the same. It made me cringe. It made me
I've
cringe.
done that.
Like, I was just like, oh, I don't.
Ew.
Every time I have feelings for someone,
it's thought of what you just said disgusts me.
Yeah.
But no, I know for a fact because, like, I'm thinking, like, what's the word? Logically, like, it was good sex. So it's not just my feelings. But Olivia told me, the other day we were talking about this in the car, and I was like, damn, like, the only good thing was the sex. And she was like, don't worry, you can train someone else to lay the pipe like that.
Yeah, honestly. But for me, it's all feelings.
It is. My feeling, my emotions.
Because every time I've had, like, feelings for someone, really strong feelings for someone, I come back to my friends like, it's the best I've ever had. And then I've been with the same person, and as the feelings fade, so does the sex.
I mean, I've definitely experienced that as well. Obviously, if I didn't have any feelings for the person, I wouldn't let them inside of me at all. But some guys really, okay, so my ex-husband, no offense to him, he only wanted to do doggy, and it was just like the same stroke every time. So I can tell the difference between that, even though I loved him so much at one point. So I thought that the sex was great, but I can tell the difference between that and then what I just had.
Yeah, of course.
Whoever comes out of a long relationship where there is emotion in the sex, that you think it's the best sex, the beauty of getting over someone and knowing that when you're really done is having sex with them again, hooking up, and realizing you will not think it's the best sex ever.
That's how I got
that
over.
That is on period. I swear to God, it is a fact. It always happens.
That's how I got over my ex.
Doesn't matter how good the dick is.
Sex was so bad. After I remember having sex with him after a while, and I'm like, I will never do this again. I do not love this person anymore. This is not fun for me.
How was he doing it?
The same as normal. He was pulling out
like
all the tricks.
Just like boring, or was he doing tricks?
No. He was pulling out all his tricks.
I mean,
this was 2 years ago.
Give me some examples.
I don't know, Lana. It was 2 years ago.
I want to know if it was really that whack. Tell me.
He was trying to do the like romantic, I love you, doing all the things that I wanted. Even when he went down on me, I didn't even like it anymore. And that used to be my number one thing.
Ew.
That's how I was like, this relationship is non-existent.
Yeah, I don't believe in letting them fuck you after they broke your heart.
Yeah, well, now I know.
Don't let them come over and come on your face and then ignore you again the next day.
Or inside you.
Ew. Well, I don't take birth control, but
yeah, it depends.
I guess you would get him back then.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly.
If you come in me, I'm keeping it.
You heard it here first, everybody. But yeah, it just depends on the person, I guess. Some people having sex with your ex can help you get over them, and sometimes it cannot.
Sometimes you're like, oh no, you're still in love. So
yeah,
it would make my feelings come back more. And personally, if I'm feeling really good about things, I would never do anything that would jeopardize me being sad about something.
I'm a weak simp, but I'm working on it.
Guys, I'm obsessed with cooking, and that I'm also obsessed with truff.
You are very obsessed. Yes, I've seen you put it on everything.
Guys, the sauce is going to be good when it looks this good with the box. So let's open it up and see what the sauces are. So this is what the inside looks like.
Ooh, I can't wait to try it.
And then there is black truffle infused, white truffle infused, and black truffle infused. So guys, they've had over 10,000 5-star reviews, and they are the #1 best-selling sauce on Amazon.com. So the truff is also made in Southern California locally, and it is vegan and gluten-free, which is pretty dope.
Ooh, I can smell it.
You have to try it. I'm really excited.
Chug. I'm just kidding. Okay, so can I just pour a little on my finger?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
It smells actually amazing, like pure truffle. Oh my gosh.
Wait, let me smell it.
And you love truffle too.
I love truffle.
Wow.
It smells so good.
Does it smell good? I'm so excited for you to try it.
Okay.
Try it.
Okay. Wow.
Is it good?
Really good. Yeah.
What would you put this on?
Chicken?
Yeah, I've incorporated it into like buffalo chicken dip. I put it in pasta. You can use this in pasta dishes. I put it on my tacos. I literally put it on everything. My
eggs. I need to put it on pizza.
Smelling it makes me want to put it on everything.
Yeah, you basically can just make everything just bougier. All your meals are going to be bougier.
You can get 15% off site-wide and free shipping. Head over to truff.com/3G1K. That's 15% off and free shipping on everything. That's TRUFF, yes, F as in fantastic.com/3G1K. I've been doing a ton of online shopping lately, and I always get a little bit salty whenever I'm checking out and I see the coupon code section where you could enter the little code, and I'm like, damn, why don't I have one? I want to save money. Today's episode is sponsored by Honey, which will help you with that.
Yeah, and Honey supports over 30,000 online stores, guys. So there's so many options.
And it's a free browser extension that you can use. So not only is it convenient, but it's free for you to use.
Yeah, I was going to say, so like the other night, we were having girls' night and we were ordering pizza. And I was like, okay, like I'm kind of on a budget. I don't want to spend a lot. But I ended up ordering pizza, and Honey happened to have a coupon code from the store that I was ordering pizza from. So I actually used the coupon code to get a discount.
Wait, so how much did the pizza actually cost?
I think it was like 45, like something, and then I ended up saving like $15 off of that. So like honestly, serious? Yeah, dude, $15 is like what, like 3 coffees for me from Starbucks. Say it's a lot. Yeah, yeah. So that we order a pizza a lot, so to me that was a good savings for sure. Yeah.
All of you should be saving like Olivia did last week. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in just a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting our podcast. So get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/3girls. That's joinhoney.com/3girls. Finally, the part that you all have been waiting for, fan questions. Take it away, Olivia.
All right. So my question is from Stephanie Skull. And she said, if he's not the one, how do I break it off? So I'm actually going to give you a very relatable story that my roommate is currently going through. And she actually had to break it off with someone who she realized he was not the one. And they were actually dating they were together for almost 5 months, which is crazy because I can't believe she even had the willpower to do this. But honestly, you just have to really write out the pros and cons of whether they're good for you or not. And if you feel like he's not the one, then I think it's really important to write out like, okay, well, why do you think he's not the one? Why do you think he is the one? And if the cons are weighing out more than the pros, then obviously I think your decision is pretty clear what you should be making. She basically just had to tell him that they weren't compatible, which was the case. You know, she obviously didn't want to hurt his feelings. So I obviously don't know like what your circumstances are. I don't know why you feel the way that you do, that the guy is not the one for you. But if it's because you guys just don't get along, he doesn't understand your sense of humor, he doesn't have hobbies or just like anything to him, then you just have to let him know that, you know, he's a great guy. There's nothing wrong with him. You guys are just not compatible enough. And that's just, I think, the best way to go about it. So definitely don't drag it on, because I don't believe in dragging a relationship on for as long as 4 or 5, 6 months and to cut it off, because it's not fair to that person that they were invested in you for that long. So also just remember that you have to respect the other person's feelings. So don't drag on the relationship if you don't feel like it's the right person for you, because it's not fair to them.
And you're just going to be miserable as well. Yeah. So the best thing you can do is, if you're having those thoughts and feelings, is to act on them and to express them to the other person, and maybe they'll agree and you guys will mutually decide to go separate ways.
Yeah. Or honestly, if that's something that they're doing that they had no idea, then honestly communicate with them and be honest and say, hey, look, like, I don't feel like this is going to work out because of this, this, and that. And if they say, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry, I had no idea I was doing this, then you guys are able to fix it and you can compromise and, you know, maybe you can move forward. But obviously, if not, I think just communication is very important.
Yeah, I agree.
Facts. So mine was from Victoria, the short stack. Trying to go on dates while being really shy and not too confident. I have a personality where I'm half introvert, half extrovert.
Yeah.
So I've definitely dealt with the same thing. First of all, it's really important if you're shy and introverted to maybe pair up with an extrovert, because they bring out that other side in you and they're always going to have questions to ask you. Things are just going to flow a lot better. I know for me in the past, when I've hung out with guys who are also introverted, It's very awkward. They don't say anything to me. I don't say anything to them. We just lay on the couch. And you're just thinking the whole time, damn, should I ask him a question? But that introvert in you is like, no, he doesn't want to talk to you. That's why he's not talking. But low-key, it's really because he's an introvert too. So if you are going to go for someone who's introverted and you don't want to end up in that awkward situation where you guys are spending the whole night together at his house and just laying there next to each other, both thinking, hey, should we talk to each other?
Bring a card game.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah. But just always remembering, hey, they asked me on a date or they're hanging out with me because they want to. Mm-hmm. I'm allowed to ask them questions and I'm allowed to start topics with them. And they probably, or they do want you to. That's why they're hanging out with you. And so I have to tell myself that all the time whenever I'm dealing with another introverted person, that I need to take the lead then and start the conversations and ask all the questions. You know, if it's something that doesn't come naturally to you, then plan that shit before the date. Be prepared. Be prepared.
Yeah, literally, like, it's not corny at all to, if you're very shy, to just think of questions you want to ask. I've heard people like writing things down just so they can like remember it. It'll just come off the top of their head. Or if you're going to...
You do that a lot. Like you write down facts and stuff.
Girl, I'm naturally talented at talking. I don't need to do that.
Well, no, for the podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for like a date. So like if this girl is trying to go on a date and she's very shy, like... I've heard people like writing things down in their notes. So they say like, oh, what I want to ask this person when we go on this date? Like, what am I interested? Should I list all my hobbies that I do? So obviously don't give away too much of yourself at first as well. You shouldn't have
to list your own hobbies though, because you should know. But that like, it's important for you to think about also what you want to tell them about yourself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You should list the things that you want to tell them.
Yeah, maybe write it down so you know, but definitely don't go and like read off a notepad in front of them.
I know. It's just going to remember. It's going to help you like kind of.
Yeah.
I'm really shy and I'm scared.
Preparation maybe would help. And also introverts and extroverts tend to go really well together. So maybe try to find one of those.
Yeah. And icebreakers. I've been recently really good at doing this too, is involving games. Because especially like, you know, during Corona, like if you're seeing a guy or talking to him, like your conversation is going to get boring after a while. You're just like on FaceTime, literally not saying anything. So I've started to like incorporate games. I'd be like, hey, like let's play a question game. And then we end up having like a lot of fun and we actually end up learning more about each other too. So that's a great way as well.
I mean, also because I'm shy and I have these issues and I've actually ruined times or relationships with people because I was too scared to talk. So I guess just don't be in your own head. And that's something I need to work on as well. So I'm going to take your guys' advice because I will sit there and have so many thoughts and just not say them.
I've told myself now, like in that situation, you need to force yourself to talk and ask questions.
So mine's from Laura Millard. And it's, how do I stop negative comments from people affecting me so much? So this is something I personally struggle with.
I think we all
the worst. Yes. I will read everything. I see everything. I see every DM. I see every comment. Mean or not.
So if she's ignoring you guys, just know that she does see it.
No, she sees all of your... like I personally, if it's something bad, I for sure have seen it because someone will send it to me.
I see everything too. Yeah. And whenever they find out that you saw it, they say, oh, I never thought you would see this.
Just I got that too.
Every time you leave a nasty comment on these videos or on people's pictures, they see it. And it's more likely, there's 1,000 things saying, oh, you're pretty or you're smart or you're this. But they always say the negative ones are what will stick in your mind.
Yeah, well,
she's a real person. I'm a real person. Olivia's a real person. Think twice before you leave those negative comments.
So how to make it not affect you? Something I've been working on. One, I try not to read as much. So like even when we post our YouTube videos for here, you guys know I don't like to read the comments because I'm scared of it. But I just remind myself, if you are a happy, positive person, you're not going to be leaving those comments. So the people that are leaving these mean comments are not happy with themselves. And to me, that's more sad than someone telling me that I'm fat or someone telling me that I'm ugly. At least I'm, living my life and trying to do what makes me happy and what makes other people happy. I'm not depressed enough or upset enough to be leaving mean comments. So what helps me, I guess, is just to know that I love myself, I'm happy, and that this person doesn't know me. Like the person commenting those mean things, they don't know you. They don't know anything about you other than what you show on Instagram, but it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
What about like if it's from someone that you like, people that you do know or that like you go to school with, you work with? Maybe that's what she's talking about.
Even last night though, he wasn't trying to insult me, but a guy at dinner I felt was insulting the way that I looked, even though he was giving compliments, but he was saying them the wrong way. But because it was already an insecurity in my mind. No, not just that. But I was thinking about it this morning. Like, so what if I look like a man? Like that doesn't, like, does it really matter?
No.
Like, I'm still hot, even if there's something wrong with my face or there's something wrong with your body. Like, does it really matter? Like, you have so much more to offer, and just having like a few things wrong with you, whether it's something with your personality or this or that, people still fuck with you. They still love you. So why the fuck does it matter?
And it's nobody's place in this world to judge. So honestly, just if you read the negative comments, just try to move past it. It's hard for me to try to explain it because I also struggle with it, but it's something that I am working on and everyone should work on is not letting others. Think
about though, when you read something very specific, does it really matter? Like, you've gotten this far in life with whatever they're insulting. Does it really matter? Yeah. Not really.
The way that I've been trained, and I think I've told, like, especially Lana, because she's the hardest on herself with negative comments, is to always think, okay, so whoever just made that comment, who are they? Do they matter to you? How are they benefiting you in your life? Well, and if it's all of those things that are a no, then it doesn't matter.
I don't agree with that, because someone can be lower than you. They can be living in their mom's basement, but it doesn't mean that their opinion and the thing that they call out about you isn't true.
Well, what I would just say is
I could look like a man. I could look like a man. I don't think that I do. Man. Yeah, well, obviously a very pretty man, but I could, and it could be true. I could really look like that. But does it matter? Because you have so much more to offer than these one or two things that people are picking apart.
So how to not let it affect you would be to just think about the things you have to offer and, just try to just brush it off. I know it's hard, but move on because you're still living your life. You're still you, and you want to be a happy, positive person. Exactly. And those people saying those things are probably not. So then...
Yeah, and they're probably insecure about themselves.
And tell yourself... Like I just said, why does it matter?
Yeah. And I remember this one girl on TikTok. She actually, so she's like huge on TikTok. She has like, her teeth are crooked, whatever. And a lot of comments that she gets are people saying, oh, like you have really fucked up teeth. And she goes, sweetie, let me see your teeth, Gerald. Let me see your fucking teeth.
The really pretty girl?
Yeah.
Like everything else is perfect.
But she literally goes, Gerald, let me see your teeth. Please post a photo of your perfect veneers.
I don't care.
I honestly thought that it made her more beautiful.
Yeah, but no, the moral of that story is like, people that typically say negative things about you are insecure about themselves.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, so it's like someone who says you're ugly. Okay, well, let me see your gorgeous ass modeling photos.
Well, but that doesn't matter.
We don't have to put them down though, because they're insulting us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not putting them down. It's just saying like, don't come at me and tell me that my teeth are crooked when you're not going to show me your teeth. That's the whole point.
You're taking a more aggressive approach towards it.
Well, some people want to react like that because it makes them. It's whatever makes you feel better.
You're a sassy girl.
I am sassy.
If you insult this girl, she'll give it to you.
Yeah, I will give it to you. I'll be like, all right, Bill, let me see your fucking teeth.
But I don't think that's like a behavior we should tell people to do. That's still comparing, and I don't like comparing.
The point of this podcast is that we're all different. We all can disagree with each other. We all can give different opinions, so and it's great. Some people will relate more with that. Some people will relate more with this. Some people it will click with them. Why the fuck does it matter if they think that you look like a man?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly. Anyway, but those are just ways, and whatever makes you feel better, however you feel better, you can come back at them with a snarky comment. You can ignore them, or you can go cry about it. It's just how you want to deal with it.
Facts.
Tea. I've been saying tea a lot.
We're actually closing this up now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure that you subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, head over to Apple, subscribe to us on there. We drop the podcast way sooner, so go listen. The YouTube versions are now going to be just a tad bit shorter and more edited. So if you want to listen to every single thing that was said, make sure you listen to audio only as well.
Remember, starting next week, we will be doing exclusive content on Stereo.
Stereo is the app for social conversations and unfiltered, so it's an intimate way for us to get to know you. So make sure to download the app and go follow us.
Bye.
Bye.